In the chaos of competition, while your rivals are consumed by panic, making fear-driven, predictable mistakes, what if you could be the one who remains unshakable? There's a timeless secret to not just surviving market volatility, but turning it into a weapon. It's called Stoic control, and it's what makes you a truly dangerous competitor. Here's how to use their chaos to your calculated advantage. Think about any competitive field: business, finance, sports. What happens when things get turbulent? You see panic. You see emotional, reactive decisions. You see people who were lions in the calm becoming lambs in the storm, rattled by every piece of bad news. Their fear is palpable. It clouds their judgment, shortens their vision, and forces them into corners. Become predictable. And their predictability is your opening. This isn't about being a robot or suppressing your humanity. It's about upgrading your mental operating system. For over 2,000 years, some of history's greatest leaders, thinkers, and warriors, from Roman emperors to modern CEOs, have used the philosophy of Stoicism not as a passive comfort, but as a strategic weapon. It's a framework for building mental resilience, for maintaining clarity when others are confused, and for acting with purpose when others are paralyzed. This control is what separates the amateur from the professional. It's what allows you to see opportunity where others only see crisis. While your competitors are reacting to the noise, you'll be listening to the signal. While they're gambling on hope and fear, you'll be executing a calculated strategy. This is how you become a dangerous competitor. Not through aggression, but through a profound and unshakable inner calm that allows for ruthless precision. Let's break down the principles that will give you this edge. The absolute cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, and your first step to becoming a formidable competitor, is understanding the dichotomy of control. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it simply: some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. It sounds obvious, but it's probably the single most violated principle in every field of competition. Think about where your rivals spend their energy. They worry obsessively about a competitor's new product. They're consumed by anxiety over market fluctuations. They rage at negative press and complain about unfair regulations. Their focus is scattered, their energy is drained, and their actions become hesitant and defensive. They're fighting a war on 1,000 fronts, most of which exist only in their minds. The Stoic competitor, by contrast, draws a hard line between what they can influence and what they cannot. External events, the stock market, a rival's strategy, global events, are all outside of your direct control. What is within your control? Your thoughts, your judgments, your decisions, and your actions. That's it. That is your entire battlefield. While your competitor is panicking about a market downturn, you're calmly focusing on your controllable inputs, refining your product, strengthening client relationships, and improving your skills. This isn't passive acceptance. It's a strategic reallocation of your most precious resources: your time, your energy, and your attention. Look at the massive supply chain disruptions during the pandemic. Many companies panicked, seeing only chaos. But the smartest ones focused entirely on what they could control. They couldn't fix global shipping, so they didn't waste a second worrying about it. Instead, they pivoted their business models, shifting to direct-to-consumer, local sourcing, or turning their retail locations into dark stores for fulfillment. While rivals were paralyzed by the external problem, a calm focus on controllable solutions allowed these companies to not just survive, but thrive. This is your advantage. By focusing exclusively on your actions and responses, you operate with a surgical precision that your distracted competitors can't match. Your energy is never wasted. Your decisions are never clouded by external noise. Here is your first exercise. Take out a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, list every single thing you are worried about in your professional life: the market, your boss's mood, a competitor's funding round. On the other side, list what you can actually do about each of those things, the specific, immediate actions within your power. You'll quickly find the first list is about external events, and the second is about your own actions. Now, cross out the first list. The second list is your new obsession. That is your domain. Master it. For the average competitor, adversity is a threat. A market crash, a failed project, a new rival, these are seen as disasters. Their instinct is to retreat, complain, or freeze. They see a wall. The Stoic competitor sees a doorway. This is achieved through the powerful principle that the obstacle is the way. This mindset is embodied by the phrase from the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Popularized by author Ryan Holiday, this idea means the problem in front of you isn't blocking the path. It contains the path. The Stoics believed you shouldn't just tolerate a crisis, you should embrace it. Why? Because within every crisis lies an opportunity that is unavailable during times of calm. When your rivals see a brutal market correction, they see loss and fear. You, embracing what happens, can see a fire sale, an opportunity to acquire assets, talent, and market share at a discount from panicked sellers. Your rivals are stopped by obstacles. They're fragile. The Stoic competitor uses obstacles to become stronger. They are, in the words of Nassim Taleb, anti-fragile. Disorder and chaos don't weaken them, they feed them. Think of it like a muscle. Without the resistance of weight, a muscle can't grow. Your competitors avoid resistance. You actively seek it out as a training ground. Many great enterprises were founded during economic depressions. While everyone else was consumed by the obstacle of a poor economy, these founders saw the opportunity: less competition, cheaper labor, and a market desperate for real solutions. They didn't succeed in spite of the bad times. They succeeded because of them. This is your competitive playbook for chaos. When a new technology disrupts your industry, your rivals will complain. You will be the first to master it and use it to make them obsolete. When a demanding client makes unreasonable requests, your competitors see a nuisance. You see a chance to practice patience and to innovate a solution no one else could, winning a loyal advocate for life. Here is your exercise. Meditate on adversity. Identify the single biggest obstacle you're facing right now. Instead of thinking about how to get rid of it, ask yourself a different set of questions. What virtues can this obstacle teach me? Patience? Courage? And more importantly, where is the hidden advantage here? If I were forced to see this problem as a gift, what opportunity would it be giving me that my competitors are too blind to see? Frame every setback not as a disruption to your plan, but as a core part of a new, better plan. Your competitors have a critical vulnerability. They're slaves to their perceptions. Bad news triggers immediate fear. Good news about a rival triggers envy and rash decisions. Their emotional state is a puppet show, and external events are pulling the strings. The Stoic knows that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgment about them. Epictetus said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." This is perhaps the most potent weapon in your arsenal. It means that between an event and your response, there is a space. In that space lies your power to choose your perception. Let's say you and a competitor both lose a major client. Your competitor's automatic perception is, "This is a disaster. We're failing." This judgment immediately triggers panic and despair. Their next actions will be reactive and fearful. You, the Stoic competitor, intercept that initial impression. You choose a different perception. We lost a client. That is a neutral event. This frees up 20% of our team's capacity. We now have the resources to pursue those 3 larger clients we've wanted for months. This is an opportunity. Same event, radically different judgment, radically different emotional response, and therefore, a radically superior action. This is what it means to build what the Stoics called the Inner Citadel. It's a fortress of the mind that external events can't breach. While your rivals are on an emotional roller coaster dictated by the day's news, you remain in your citadel, observing the world with objective clarity. This stability allows for true long-term strategic thinking. You can plan in quarters and years, while they are barely surviving the next 24 hours. Your calm becomes unnerving to others. In a negotiation, when your counterpart expects you to get flustered, your serene objectivity is a powerful tool. They reveal their emotional state, their weaknesses, their desperation. You reveal nothing. You simply observe, analyze, and act with deliberation. Here is your exercise for building this citadel. Create a personal mantra. This is a short, powerful phrase you repeat internally the moment you feel a negative reaction. It acts as a circuit breaker. It could be as simple as, "Is this in my control?" or "This is just information." When bad news hits, instead of letting your mind spiral, you deploy the mantra. It forces a pause, allowing you to consciously choose your perception instead of defaulting to a destructive one. Your competitors operate under a dangerous illusion, the illusion of infinite time. They waste days in pointless meetings, engage in petty politics, and put off the hard work for later. They procrastinate because subconsciously, they act as if they have forever. The Stoic competitor lives with a secret that obliterates procrastination. Memento mori. Remember, you must die. This might sound morbid, but to the Stoics, it was the ultimate tool for clarity and urgency. The awareness that your time is finite isn't a source of despair, but a source of profound motivation. It's the ultimate filter for what truly matters. When you internalize that you have a limited number of days, your tolerance for nonsense plummets. You no longer have time for ego-driven arguments. You no longer have time for tasks that don't move the needle. You no longer have time for fear of failure, because the only real failure is a life wasted on the non-essential. Think of a founder who truly embraces this. Do they spend an hour debating the color of a button on a website? Or do they focus all their energy on the few actions that will drive the biggest results? They become ruthless in their prioritization. Modern thinkers like Tim Ferriss champion this kind of high-leverage work. It's not about working more hours. It's about making the hours you work count. This constant awareness of mortality makes you a dangerous competitor, because it fuels a level of focus your rivals can't comprehend. While they are trying to do everything, you are doing the right thing. Your actions have weight, purpose, and an urgency that is impossible to fake. Here is your exercise. Practice negative visualization. This Stoic technique involves regularly imagining worst-case scenarios. Sit quietly and vividly imagine that you've lost it all. Your business has failed. Your career is over. It sounds terrifying, but its purpose is twofold. First, it robs fear of its power. By contemplating the loss of everything, your fear of smaller failures, like a failed sales call, vanishes. Second, when you open your eyes, you are flooded with gratitude for what you still have. This gives you the courage to act boldly because you've already faced the worst in your mind. In the high-stakes poker game of competition, your rivals are constantly giving away their hand. Their flashes of anger, nervous fidgeting, or triumphant boasting, all of these are emotional tells. They are broadcasting their internal state, their insecurities, and their intentions for everyone to see. The Stoic competitor cultivates the opposite, apatheia. This is not apathy or a lack of feeling. It is a state of rational calm and equanimity, a freedom from disturbing passions. It's a state of being where you can observe everything happening around you without being emotionally hijacked by it. When you possess apatheia, you become unreadable. While your rival is flustered, trying to get a reaction, your calm demeanor can be profoundly unsettling. They push, and you don't push back. They try to intimidate, and you don't show fear. This non-reaction often causes them to overplay their hand and make unforced errors. Your calm becomes their chaos. This gives you a powerful information advantage. You're watching them, learning from their emotional outbursts, and gathering data. They, on the other hand, are learning nothing about you. Your decisions seem to come from nowhere, executed with precision, but it's simply the result of acting from clear observation rather than emotional reaction. Imagine a tense boardroom negotiation. The other side is getting loud and making aggressive demands. The average person meets aggression with aggression, or cowers in fear. The Stoic leader sits back, listens calmly, and lets the storm pass. When their opponent has exhausted themselves, the Stoic quietly asks a single, incisive question that cuts to the heart of the matter. This is power. This is control. Here is your exercise. Practice the Stoic pause. The next time you feel provoked or pressured to respond immediately, just pause. Take a deep breath. This small gap between stimulus and response is where your training takes place. In that moment, you can remind yourself of your principles, analyze the situation objectively, and choose a rational, strategic response instead of an emotional, reflexive one. In modern leadership, a great deal of emphasis is placed on emotional intelligence, EI. It's the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, and to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. It's an invaluable skill for building teams and fostering collaboration. But in a cutthroat competitive scenario, relying solely on EI can leave you vulnerable. Emotional intelligence is fundamentally relational and often harmony-seeking. But what happens when you're facing a rival who doesn't care about harmony? What about a market collapse when your team's emotions are a tidal wave of panic? An EI-driven leader might risk getting swept up in that emotional tide, focusing so much on managing feelings that they fail to make the hard, rational decision needed to save the ship. This is where Stoicism provides the crucial missing piece. It complements EI by providing a detached, rational foundation. If EI is about understanding the emotional weather, Stoicism is about being the unshakable lighthouse, immune to the storm. Stoicism isn't about being unemotional. It's about replacing debilitating emotions like fear and panic with productive ones like calm and purpose. It's a superior operating system for high-stakes competition because its primary focus is on self-mastery for effective action. While an EI-focused leader might get bogged down trying to soothe a panicked team, a Stoic leader's profound calm becomes a gravitational center. Their stability inspires genuine confidence in a way that mere empathic words cannot. Their actions, born of clear-headed reason, provide a path forward that the team can rally behind. The Stoic leader proves their leadership not by feeling their team's pain, but by guiding them out of it. This gives you an incredible edge. While your competitor is trying to be liked, you're focused on being effective. While they're worried about consensus, you're making the decisive call. Stoicism provides the armor that allows you to absorb the emotional blows of competition without flinching, enabling you to act with a clarity and purpose that will seem almost superhuman to those trapped in the cycle of emotional reactivity. Your competitor's greatest weakness isn't their product or their strategy. It's their untrained mind. It's their emotional reactivity to the chaos of the arena. They are blown about by the wind's fortune, their decisions dictated by fear and greed. Your greatest weapon, in turn, is your mind, fortified by the timeless principles of Stoicism. This isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's the art of transforming emotion from your master into your tool. It is about cultivating an inner peace so profound that it allows for the most precise, calculated, and effective outer action. By focusing only on what you can control, you achieve clarity. By seeing every obstacle as an opportunity, you become anti-fragile. By mastering your perceptions, you become immune to panic. By remembering your mortality, you act with urgency. And by cultivating a rational calm, you become unshakable. You become the calm in the storm. And in the world of competition, the person who can think clearly while everyone else is losing their head is the most dangerous competitor of all. If you found this guide to competitive dominance valuable, subscribe to the channel for more strategies on mastering your mindset, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And in the comments below, tell us which Stoic principle you will start applying today.